Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Ms. Cornejo.
Have you ever been scrolling through social media or watching a commercial and wondered why certain messages make us think or feel certain ways? Every day we are surrounded by communication that influences our opinions, belief, and even how we see ourselves and other people. Most of the time we don't stop to question where these messages come from or who benefits from them. Today I will talk about the critical theories paradigm, a communication concept that helps us examine how communication can reinforce system of power while also encouraging positive social change. This topic is important because communication affects every part of our daily lives. Whether we are watching television, using social media, or talking with others, we are constantly receiving messages. Learning about the critical thinking paradigm helps us recognize hidden messages, question unfair communication practices, and even become more thoughtful communicators. Today I will first explain what the critical theory paradigm is. Second, I will discuss how the theory applies to real life situations. Finally, I will explain why understanding the communication concept is important. Let's begin by looking at what the critical theory paradigm actually is. This theory focuses on how communication can reinforce power, inequality, and oppression, while also encouraging people to create positive social change. According to our textbook, unlike many other communication theories that simply explain how communication works, critical theories go one step further by encouraging action. This idea is known as praxis, which means combining theory with action to improve society. The textbook also explains that examples of critical theories include Marxism, postmodernism, and feminism. Although these approaches focus on different issues, they all share the goal of challenging unfair systems and encouraging more equal form of communication. Instead of accepting communication as it is, critical theories ask us to think critically about who has power, who may be left out, and how communication can create change. Now that we define the concept, let's look at how it appears in our everyday lives. One example is social media. Every day we see influencers, advertisement, and viral videos telling us what success, beauty, or happiness should look like. Critical theory encourages us to ask questions such as who created this message, who benefits from it, does it reinforce stereotypes or unrealistic expectations? Instead of accepting these messages without thinking, this theory teaches us to analyze them more carefully. A second example is advertising and entertainment. Think about movies, television shows, or commercials. The textbook explains that critical theories examine how media represents different groups of people and whether those portrayals reinforce stereotypes or unequal powers. For example, if certain groups are constantly shown in negative roles while others are shown in successful leadership roles, those messages can influence how audiences view people in real life. These examples show how critical theory paradigm is something we experience every day, even if we don't realize it. Finally, let's discuss why this theory matters. Learning about critical theory paradigm helps us become more aware of the messages we receive every day. Instead of accepting everything we hear, see, we learn to ask questions and think critically. This can improve our communication because it encourages us to be more respectful of different perspectives and more aware of how communication affects others. As a psychology major, I find it especially meaningful because understanding communication is an important part of understanding people. Whether I work with children, family, or other individuals in the future, I will need to recognize how communication influences people's thoughts, relationships, and experiences. This theory reminds us that communication has the power not to only influence society, but to also create positive change when used responsibly. Today we learned that the critical theory paradigm is what it is, how it could be applied to social media, advertising, and understanding why this communication theory helps us. The next time you watch a commercial, scroll through social media, or watch your favorite movie, I encourage you to ask yourself one simple question. Who created this? Who created this message, and what do they want me to believe? By asking that question, you'll be thinking more critically about communication and the roles it plays shaping our daily lives. Thank you.